Are you overthinking things when it comes to dating, and how does it prevent you from finding the right person? Today, with our executive director slash matchmaker, Katerina Romanenko, I suggest to discuss this topic. Katerina, when you think about overthinking in the context of dating, which stories or which situations came in mind?
First of all, I want to say that people usually think that I know I never make this mistake. Overthinking, who is overthinking actually nowadays? But to be honest, guys, we face with it so often when people overthink in different meanings. Sometimes they overthink such simple situations that you can't believe that people really can think it in that way. So overthinking usually we face with it when people start to communicate. So when we introduce couple, when we introduce people to each other, they start their communication, and here you are. We have the first cases of overthinking. It can be in different it can be in different ways, and usually it is connected with the situations how often people interact with each other. So for example, she didn't answer my message for 1 hour or for 2 hours, she's not interested in me. So people really start to analyze so small things and overthink everything that in usual life they even don't pay attention to. So if she doesn't answer you for 1 hour or for 2 hours, it doesn't mean that she doesn't like you. And similar situations we often face with it. Also, it can be vice versa. So I think that she likes me so much because we communicate with her, and she always answer my messages. I think she really likes me. So overthinking, it can be two ways. When people can't find this balance, when people really are into you, or people are so or they that people are not into me at all. So this overthinking, it can be in different ways. So and we really face with it, and more often than people think.
I can think of two most common scenarios. Scenario number one, we conduct international matchmaking. So very often our clients, they represent multicultural backgrounds. For example, a gentleman is from Norway, and we introduce him to a lady who's from Ukraine, but they both currently live in Amsterdam or in New York, and they use English as their main language of communication. And sometimes things get lost in translation. I'm not speaking right now about situation when, for example, someone is not fluent in the language. You can be really fluent, but again, cultural sense and backgrounds and some slangs and jokes and translation from male language into female language. And very often things get lost. For example, she meant one thing when she has expressed herself. He has translated it from English into like Swedish or Norwegian or English or any other language the other way around. And don't forget about female and male and female language. And things get lost in translation, and then people try to look for this double deck and double meaning. And very often they create a problem where there is no problem. Overthinking, like in the sense, for example, we introduce a gentleman to a lady, and she tells him that, you know what, I just got promoted. So I got promoted, and I really like my team. Or for example, I got a new job, like real situation. I got a new job, and I really like it, and the team is nice, and I can improve my German. For example, a lady lives in Germany now, and a gentleman, he jumps into conclusion that she's not interested in a relationship. Why? Well, because she got this new job, or she just got promoted, or she just moved to another apartment and she has signed up that lease agreement. So for a year, she's committed to stay here for a year. This means that she won't choose me back. We won't build a relationship. I don't see any sense in a second date. Why? Like, people change jobs, people change apartments, and nowadays many people work online from home. You don't know her situation yet. Probably if you build that relationship, and it is a process, it will take you months. It's not like you will build a relationship in 2 days. Of course, after one date, she's not considering relocating, or uh, she's not considering any changes, like making any changes in her life, because she has met you for one date. And like probably she is thinking whether I should go out with him on a second date or I shouldn't go out with him on a second date, and what we will do on the second date. And you already overthink it way too much, creating scenarios that what if we build a relationship and then she decides she wants to stay? You don't know her situation yet. Maybe deep in her head, like for her, building a relationship is a priority. And if building a relationship means relocating, she will choose relocating because, for example, her fiance can't relocate from, let's say, Australia or UK or United States. But people jump into conclusions, they make assumptions based on what? On the fact that she got a new job? Maybe she changes them every year. Like you don't know that yet because you don't know that person. And you rob yourself of this chance to actually get to know her.
And also, we had very recently we had the situation of overthinking when we wanted our male client to introduce to a lady that she was really interested to be introduced to him. So she was interviewed beforehand, and she was interested exactly in this client. So we decided to introduce them to each other. We are showing him her profile, and get the answer that it looks like this lady. She moved to Europe recently. Oh, she's not for too long here. And I think that once she settles down here, once her life gets to normal, she will look for someone better, of a better option. Why?
Why?
Yeah, so why this conclusion? You just saw her profile, you read information about a lady that showed interest in you. So she's interested. She doesn't think about any other guy except of being introduced to you. So she is the concentrated on it now. And your way of thinking that once she settles down, she will find someone better. Why do you think that someone will be better for her than you are? So you didn't even communicate yet, but you have already made this conclusion, and you don't have this chance. You don't give yourself a chance to get to know this person, and you don't let her get to know you back. So we didn't understand it, but thanks God we talked to this guy. We explained to him the situation, and of course, he decided to communicate with this lady. But it is a very good example of overthinking. He has his own. I don't know. His thoughts in his head, how it usually happens when ladies come to Europe. Maybe he heard some story. Maybe he heard about similar scenario, and so now he thinks that all ladies who came to Europe recently, once they settles down, they will look for someone better, for better option. But of course, guys, it's just an example of overthinking of the situation.
Again, just moving to Europe recently to another country or starting a new job, you don't know the situation of that person. People move because of their work. People move because of situations they can't control. People move out of boredom, especially in Europe. You will see that people are moving constantly all the time. And we have a big database of ladies with Ukrainian backgrounds, Ukrainian ladies who live in European Union. And very often, for example, we conduct interview with her 6 months ago, and she was in Italy. And now we contact her to introduce her to another client, and she is in Portugal. Why? She has decided to change the scenery. She has found a new job. She couldn't find an apartment she wanted in Italy. She has decided to go to Portugal because she works online, and for her, location doesn't matter much. And it only matters that there is a good internet connection and an apartment, for example, is big enough or permits staying with dogs or with cats. But people very often they create scenarios that are so unlikely to happen in real life. So when you go out on a date, you can establish this habit that, okay, I'm meeting a person, someone new, and I'm not going to label this person after just one interaction, one date. I give myself a chance to go out on 3 dates, and I will try to get the second date, third date with this lady because she has to say yes. And I will give her a chance to get to know me. And after 3 dates and communicating in between, it will take about maybe 1, 2 weeks, depending on how intensive your life is and how much hours you will spend on the date. After 3 dates, you will have already a better understanding about each other. What is this lady like? Is she late to the date? Because it can happen that she was late on your first date, but it was like an exceptional situation. Usually she is super punctual, but she was late because, for example, there was a traffic jam, or she didn't calculate the distance right, or the taxi driver took her to another restaurant. Like things can happen, and you think that, oh, she is not actually someone I can trust. She's not reliable. She is very infantile. Like different assumptions. And if you went out with her, if you have given yourself a chance and you actually went out with her like twice or 3 times, you could have learned that, okay, on the second date she was on time, and on the third date she was on time as well. For example, you were late on your third date, and she was okay with it. She didn't show with her facial expression that, oh my God, she had to wait for you 10 minutes. She was chill. But people rob themselves of these chances to actually get to know someone because they create scenarios, unrealistic scenarios, and they overthink it way too much. They try to analyze what she said or what he wore. For example, a gentleman, he showed up on a date wearing a hoodie with the logo of the company he worked for. And the lady later on told me and our psychologist that he must be obsessed with his work and dating is not a priority for him. Why? Because he is wearing a hoodie with the logo of the company he works for?
Yes, people sometimes they make very strange assumptions. Also, one example came into my mind that also not so long ago, one of our couples they had their first online date, video date, and after that, the guy is giving us feedback that everything went really well. We talked a lot. It was a long call. Everything was fine, but I'm upset that she's making jokes of me. She's not serious about me. We asked why. Why do you think so? Because she wanted to laugh at me, saying that I'm too smart. When we get a lady feedback, she's saying that, wow, he's so smart. It was so interesting to talk with him. That I have heard so many new words. It was so interesting. He's so logical. I like to listen to him. I like when we discuss different topics. So she was not joking when she said that he was too smart. She really meant it. So she really thinks that this guy is very smart. It was not her desire to be rude or to say like like we say with sarcasm that you are too smart. No, she was really honest about it. It was something she really thought. But in his mind, the date was really good. It finished. He started to analyze their conversation, and he started to memorize that she said several times that he's too smart. What did she mean about it? Maybe she thinks that I'm too smart. Maybe it was sarcasm. And so his good aftertaste after this video date was almost destroyed because he started to think that she was making jokes of him, saying that he's too smart with sarcasm. But she was really honest about it. So of course it was also a situation when you don't need to overthink. And sometimes people, when they say it, when they say compliments, when they say their opinions, they really mean it. It was not the way to be sarcastic about you or to make jokes of you. So this lady, she was really honest, saying that he is smart because it was her impression after conversation with him.
But in the case of this gentleman, I would say, he has a pretty low self-esteem when it comes to women, unfortunately. Uh, but here's the worst, and it sometimes happens that after divorce, your self-esteem is rather low, and when a woman compliments you, you kind of feel like it is an assault. When
Mhm.
in reality, it is a compliment, and she liked talking to him, and he is really, really smart. And when we have started working with him, we told him that we will build our strategy around it. We will introduce you to women who appreciate a smart man for whom it is very attractive. So overthinking, it has ruined so many days. And instead of concentrating on what the lady is actually telling a man, how she looks like flirting with her, a man overthinks what she said. Did she mean this or did she mean that? Just chill. Like sometimes a joke is just a joke. Of
Mhm.
course, I'm not telling you right now that you have to jump into a relationship blindly and not thinking about compatibility and long-term goals. But to create this chemistry that everybody craves, like everybody's crazy with that sparkle chemistry, you have to build this chemistry, and you build it by flirting. And you won't be able to build chemistry if you react to a compliment thinking that, oh, she wanted to make fun of me. Or, for example, oh, she didn't say this. She hasn't asked me about kids, whether I want to have kids. It means that she is not serious about having kids. Chill, it has been your first date. Maybe she will ask you this on the third date. Like asking about kids on the first date, I can't say that it is always a good idea. If the conversation naturally flow that way, yes, you can discuss future, your dreams, her dreams. But if the conversation you are talking, for example, about hobbies or preferences, and then out of a sudden she asks you, like, do you want to have children? The majority of men will think that, oh, chill, woman. It's the first date. You haven't even hold hands. You're already talking babies. So overthinking, it's a huge obstacle in building a relationship. And men and women often overthink what they said, how the date went. Again, another our client, for example, after the date, we contacted a man and a woman to get the feedback, and he told us, "Oh, it didn't go well, and I didn't like her." And then, knowing my client, I tell him that actually the lady liked you, and she has given a very positive feedback, and she said this and this about you, like positive sense, and she's actually interested to go out with you again and is upset that you haven't asked her out on a second date straight away. And then he changes in his face, and it's like, really? She did say that? She did say that? Oh, then I want to see her again. So in his head, he has already decided that she didn't like him, and there won't be a second date. And he didn't even read her body language right. He didn't read her attitude right. Instead, he assumed the worst, that she didn't like him, and has decided to uh, break up with her after the first date, to be the first one to break up with her. So overthinking, it's a really, really bad sin when it comes to dating, and it has ruined so many dates.
Yes, and people, when they start to communicate, when they start their search for the better half, they very often they forget a very important thing, that while you're looking for someone or while you're communicating with people, first thing you should do is enjoying it. So you have to enjoy the process. And really don't take it so seriously to overthink everything. So you have to enjoy it. When you communicate with a person, first think you go on a date to enjoy it, to get to know a new person, to talk about yourself, to flirt, to make jokes. So the first goal must be enjoying. You have to enjoy everything that is happening. Then everything will go smoothly. Once you start overthink it, once you start to analyze every word the person in front of you is saying, every move she makes, the clothes that she
Every
puts.
photo in your profile.
Yes, yes, every photo in her profile. When you start analyze everything, we also had this. Not only men, like you said, that women they also overthink, and it happens to us when we show. So when we communicate with a lady, when we interview her for a gentleman, we show his photos, and in several minutes, the lady says that I'm sorry, I don't want to be introduced to him because I don't see that he has kind eyes. His eyes, they're not so kind. I don't think that he is the right person.
I don't think he has serious intentions. A guy who has hired a matchmaker doesn't have serious intentions, like really.
Yeah, so ladies they are guilty in it, and they also make this mistake. So people once they start to overthink everything, to analyze every step, every move, every action, every word, every message that another person. Of course, like you said, you don't have to become blind when you start to communicate with someone. You have to stay realistic, and if you see obvious red flags, you have to pay attention to them. But don't try to overthink and to find something that is not there. So if there is not a problem, don't try to find it and to solve it. Don't try to fix something that is not broken yet. It's very important to remember that when you start being open-minded, when you start being relaxed, you will start to enjoy the process. You will start to enjoy communication with new people, and you will be closer to your goal. You will be closer to the moment when you meet your right person and start that relationship that you really want to start and that you want to build. Once you start overthink everything, stop yourself, because nobody can do it instead of you. Stop yourself, analyze these thoughts that came into your mind, and ask yourself, am I overthinking it now? Maybe it's the problem why nothing works with it. So it's very important to remember that you have to relax, that you have to enjoy the process, and not to analyze every word that you hear from another person.
And I want to give a final tip. I agree with everything you just said. Keep in mind that when you go out on the first date, you're not choosing a wife or a husband. On the first date, you try to build chemistry and you try to find like first glimpses of compatibility. And people put so much pressure on the first date and sometimes even on the dating profile. Like if they are choosing a wife or a husband based on the photo and the profile. No, because these people usually have this attitude that chemistry, I will go out on a date and chemistry and love will just be there. And I will have just to choose the right woman and we will be very compatible, we will have crazy chemistry and we will fall in love right on the first date. No, uh, compatibility, yes, it should be there, but you have to discover it. And you can discover it only if you build a quality communication, if you go out on dates and give each other a chance to watch each other in different situations, watch each other's reaction, try to talk, try to laugh together, try to test if you can build this chemistry by simple touches, by flirting, by keeping the eye contact, by joking. And if you reduce this pressure, if you actually take this pressure off the first date, that I have to choose a wife or I have to choose a husband on the first date. Nobody is choosing a wife on the first date. Like your goal on the first date is to get a second date and then the third date. And after 3 dates, you can decide if this acquaintance has some potential to grow into a relationship. But again, chemistry and great relationships, they are built, they are not found. And when people try to find a soulmate, well, they actually are quite juvenile and lazy because they don't want to do the work. I will just show up on a date. I will choose a perfect picture because it is fast and easy, and a picture can talk back to me. and then I will go on a date and there will be love and chemistry. No, it's not going to happen. Katerina, and your final dating tip in this video?
Oh, my final dating tip. I think that I will come back to what I said, that don't forget to enjoy the process. Once you feel open minded, once you are relaxed, and also it is connected with it. Try to get to know other people. So don't push on yourself, like you said correctly. Don't think if you want to marry this lady on the first or second date. Just relax and enjoy the process. Enjoy of the process of getting to know another person, even if it doesn't work. It is always a great chance to get to know a new person in your life. So once you start to enjoy this process, you will see how easier everything will go. You will stop pushing on yourself. You will not feel this pressure, and really you will see how easy communication with people can be once you have the right attitude to it. Because your attitude, everything is built on it. Once you have the right attitude, once you have an healthy attitude, then everything will go smoothly and better. You will stop having these crazy ideas. You will stop overthinking, and you will stop ruin your own day and
Katerina,
your own with people. Enjoy it, and then it will be better for you.
I have lost you for a few seconds, but it was at the very end.
Mhm.
Right now is the time to press like, to subscribe to our channel if you want to get notifications about new videos, and we upload one new big video every week, sometimes extra videos, like for example, this one with Katerina, and also short videos with practical dating tips and advice. Also, we have a big channel in Russian language. There is the link on our channel. If you speak Russian, you can follow us there and get more dating tips and advice. My name is Svetlana Mucha. I'm the founder and the leading matchmaker and dating coach at Diolli.com. And together with Katerina Romanenko, we are feel happy to share with you our experience. Katerina has 10 years. I have 10 plus years, let's put it this way, of practical experience in international matchmaking. If you want to learn more about our matchmaking process, there will be the link below this video. You can request a complimentary consultation. If you like our content, you can support us by becoming a sponsor. There is also the link below this video. If you agree, disagree with ours, or maybe you want to share a story, your own overthinking story that has ruined the date, please feel free to share it in the comments below, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.